Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful evening to join you on Konnekt Live. Well, it's how do I even call it? It's Baruch Live. Eh? Oh, it's sorry. It's I must say it's both a lively and a sad evening. Kwanza Olkalao nasikia kumekuwa na tumaneno hapa na pale. I was going through hapa nasikia watu wamesema maneno, lakini anyway bado tuna appreciate, we do appreciate. Naona kamera inacheza kidogo, relaxini kijana Gen Z with experience, a stabilize shot hapo, alafu mambo itakuwa lualala. Anyway, welcome. We have not been with you for 2 weeks. So no, we have not actually. Hatujapatana wiki moja. Last week hatukupatana, and that was because ya hiyo siku ilikuwa ile siku na celebrate siku yangu ya kuzaliwa. Sasa ikabidi nimekaa nyumbani kidogo, pia mimi nipumzike. But now we are back. Andy, haya, wacha tuanze afresh. Hiyo ni Gen Z with experience alikuwa anacheza na kamera kidogo. So I'm saying poleni have been away. Nilikuwa pia mimi nimepumzika kidogo. The highlights of the day, it's sad and it's a sad day to be a car owner in Kenya. One, hakuna mafuta. There is a looming fuel shortage that is already biting. Secondly, si mnajua maneno ya KRA. Kama mliwatch video yetu ya Monday, you should know that the import duty for cars is rising by some ridiculous amounts. Because as we stipulated on that video, the cost of some vehicles like the Nissan Note is going to approach the 2 million mark. So, 5 years ago, you would get a Nissan Note with less than 1 million. Unfortunately, now if you're getting the E13, you will be getting it for close to 2 million, or even in some cases around 2 million. So it's a very sad day and sad week for motorists. Inaonekana tutarudi kuangamia. We laugh at people who do EVs, but I think at times like this, EVs make a lot of sense. So I think ni vizuri tu mtu anunue kibakuli kamoja tu ka EV mahali, aweke, akuwa anatembea nayo tukiwa na hizi fuel crisis. Because even after Iran reopens the Strait of Hormuz, we do not know how long it's going to take before our fuel situation can be rectified. The other thing is, our neighbors Uganda, nasikia tulipiga simu huko tukasema, can we use part of your fuel reserves? And the Ugandans refused. So the Ugandans ni kama wale. Remember those days, for those of you who grew up in a setup like ours. So you had chapos in the evening, alafu sasa firstborn anaficha chapo moja, ama one of the siblings anaficha chapo. Breakfast mkikula mandoma na mangwashe, unaona amechomoa ile chapo. So that is Uganda. So we have their fuel, but unfortunately we cannot use it. I hope you guys have been you've been good, and I would like to remind you one thing. By the way, we are filming at Prince Drive Garage. Ndio maana kuna hii mlango ya Toyota Hiace, kuna rims fiti. Prince Drive Garage ni kwa Mwaura. Ule jamaa anapenda ma diesel engines. So back to na pia tunakuanga na garage nyingine LD inaitwa Neon Mobility. So ukitaka kutengenezewa gari and you're in Eldoret, we've got you covered with Neon Mobility. Ukiwa Nairobi, kuja hapa Prince Drive Garage kwa Mwaura. Now, we were talking about the firstborn issue, na nikasema actually times like these, electric vehicles would actually make sense. But anyway, they also have their shortcomings. Reminders. Now, tomorrow we are going to have an amazing video. So we have a new project that is called Limp Mode. Limp Mode is more of a podcast where people come to share their stories. Wenye walisumbuliwa na magari, venye magari zimewapiga kiboko. And not only cars, even car-related businesses. So we already have episode 1. Episode 1, hata ukiingia hapo kwa YouTube channel, utaona iko hapo premiere, inangoja kesho saa 2. So kesho saa 2, kueni hapa muweze kuona the first episode of the Limp Mode podcast. It's going to be very interesting. I also hope mliona ile ingine ya drive yetu kutoka South Africa. It was another very interesting show. Now coming next, so we have a podcast called Limp Mode, and it's going to be coming your way every Thursday at 8 p.m. Also another show we are bringing, there's also another show by the way we'll be bringing to you. But that one will make its premiere probably in 2 weeks time, because it's a big project and it's very interesting, plus also very insightful. So there are big things coming from Konnekt. The workload is going to be bigger, but we are going to give you more information that is going to guide you through your car ownership journey. Haya, tuwacha tuingie huku kwa comment section tuone watu wanasema aje. Dennis Kingori tuned in from Embu. Kindly elaborate on the Nissan Note E11 as a first time car. I am happy to join. The E11 is an amazing car, but just make sure you get one that has not had a history of overheating, or 2, one that has not had mechanics playing around with its gearbox, because the E11s had a CVT gearbox that was not as problematic as the later models or the later generations of the CVT. But the engine, the HR15 was a very good engine. It's not problematic, but once it overheats, just get a slim engine, because rebuilding it and replacing gaskets is normally a long shot. Tuendelee. Funny Robert anasema tuko live, cameraman kuwa stable. Antismo anasema Lost Sun is back. Yes, I'm back. Achieng Frederick, kwani leo ako Dar es Salaam? Niko tayari kwa minajili ya Wednesday live. Achieng Frederick, Wednesday live kwa Kiswahili ni matangazo kwa njia mubashara. Sawa. Evans Mugambi say, good evening Okabi, you didn't give us a review of the diesel Outlander you had in Naivasha. Is it a car you would recommend? No, Evans Mugambi, the Outlander I had in Naivasha is not a diesel. That was a petrol Outlander, 2.4 liter. Yes, but it's still around. So the only problem with that Outlander is that the gearbox is very expensive, and the gearbox failing is not something that is not, I would say, impossible. In fact, they share a gearbox with the Nissan X-Trail T32. The difference is the bell housing and probably the transmission control module, but it's basically the same thing. In terms of that car being good for local running, it's very good. It's a very good vehicle. It has a very good 4-wheel drive system. But now it's a soft road. So si gari mbaya. The Outlander is not a bad vehicle. It's not something we would call gari mbaya. Lakini iyo gearbox ikiharibika, you will spend around 400,000 to replace the gearbox. The shortcut is you buy gearbox ya Outlander 2-wheel drive, then you change the bell housing to utumia ile mzee, inakuwa 4-wheel drive. But again, you're going to save a little money, but not so much money. We have Stephen Mureithi is typing while deleting. Paul Kimemi is saying, watching from Langata. Fanny Robert, evening, Wakabi and crew. We have Kenyan Mafia typing and deleting. Stephen Mureithi is saying, tuned in from Meru. Karibu sana, Stephen. Kenyan Mafia is saying, Wakabi watching from Keru, watu wa Kerugoya, representing. Inoki Jinangumu, tuned in from Arusha. Thank you so much, wase wa Tanzania. We value you. Gary Tush is saying, hello Eric, watching from Mogadishu. Salimia watu wa Mogadishu sana. Funny Robert is saying, we really lack good governance in this country. Praying for the best. Yeah, we're also praying for the best. But hopefully the situation is going to be rectified sooner or later. Although now, we don't know how long. And it's, as a car owner, I find it very unfortunate to be living in a moment of uncertainty, especially for people who do extra long drives. Jose Nderi is saying, great Buddha, following as usual. Karibu sana, Jose Nderi. Regan is saying, talk about the first gen Mazda Axela. Is it a car you'd recommend or avoid it? The first gen Axela was actually a very good car. It was not problematic. It was a very simple car. I would say if you find a clean one, buy it. Hiyo gari siwezi kupatia makosa yake. Rafael Onyancha tuned in from Kitengela. Paul Kimemia is saying, how is Toyota FJ Cruiser? Paul Kimemia, FJ Cruisers are actually very reliable cars. The funny thing about the FJ Cruiser is that the underpinnings of the car are those of the Toyota Prado J150. The only setback with the FJ Cruiser is that, well, its design is a little bit awkward, but it's a good vehicle. And as they always say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. The other thing is, most people fear that 4-liter 1GR because of the fuel consumption. But if minus fuel consumption, if you can afford a vehicle that guzzles that much petrol, it's a great vehicle to have. It's very reliable. It's one of those unkillable vehicles, very capable off-road, quite comfortable as well. I wish they had a diesel option because the FJ Cruiser never came with a diesel option. Tuendelee. Alex Kaka is saying, hello, Okabi, tuned in from Saudi Arabia, intact and safe. I'm so glad, Alex, that you guys are safe. Benson Otonda, good evening, Eric, tuned in from Maseno. You made me sell my Nissan Note 11 by saying Nissan 2. That's saying it's a good car. Benson, Nissan 2 at the end of the day. It's going to suffer those common Nissan problems like overheating, bushes. But if you take care of it, if you meticulously maintain that cooling system, itakuwa sawa. What I said is just make sure if you're getting an E11, make sure utachukua gari yenye haijachokorwa. Sawa sawa. Kevin Ndoro is watching from Kevin Ndoro, yes, is watching from Denmark. Anasema woza. Anaongea kama jamaa anakuanga kule Romania, anaitwa Martin Teto. Ama Ustadh May the Tracking. Gary Tush is saying, hey Eric, your essay episode, you really praise the J150 as king of the off-road. And if that's the case, where do you place the 79? Haya, Gary Tush, nataka nikufunze. I would like to school you for at least for like 2 minutes. And I hope other guys are going to learn from this. And it is something we have said time and again on this channel. When we had a review of the 300 series, a review of the J150, the Kakadu versus the TZG, and when we had a review of the 79 series. So the Land Cruiser family is divided into 3, and that is what we call the Holy Trinity of the Land Cruiser. We have what are called the station wagon or luxury-based Land Cruisers. Hizi, tukiangalia, hizo ni kama 180 series, 100 series, 200 series, and now the current 300 series. Now, those are the luxury and station wagon series of the Land Cruiser. And then we have the heavy-duty Land Cruisers. Now, these ones we are talking about the hardcore Land Cruisers, the ones that can survive the remotest part of the world. And these are the Land Cruiser 79, which is a pickup available in single cab and double cab. We have the Land Cruiser 76, which is a station wagon, hardtop, and we have the Land Cruiser 78, which is a troop carrier. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo. Now those are the hardcore Land Cruisers. And then we have the light duty Land Cruisers. Now the light duty Land Cruisers are the likes of Akina Toyota Prado. Tuko pamoja. So when you get to understand this, the family, the Land Cruiser family, you will be able to understand that you cannot compare a 79 to a Prado, because now the Prado is the light duty. It's meant to be a smaller SUV that will guarantee, comfort and a little bit more of, combining off-road and on-road. So you can have some off-road capabilities. But you see, now the other thing is the VXL is on another league because, one, it comes with 2 D-flocks. It comes with a multi-terrain select system. So ikiingia off-road pia hiyo pia imejaa ngori. But sasa the major one, the hardcore ones with a solid front axle and a solid rear axle, ni the heavy duty series, the 79, 76 and 78. Tunaelewana hadi hapo. So ni kama saying, you see, for Catholics there is God the Father, and in poetry it's allowed. Unajua kuna watu wanakimbianga pale kusema no, that is blasphemy. No, in poetry it's called biblical allusion, and it is what I'm going to explain to talk about the Land Cruiser. There is God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So when we are talking about the Land Cruiser family, God the Father will be the luxury station wagon. God the Son is going to be the heavy duty. And no, actually the Son should be the Prado, because the Holy Spirit and the Father should be the heavy duty and the luxury stroke station wagon series. So I hope tunaelewana. It's a big family, but the main category, so that's why you cannot really compare a 79 to a Prado. Sawa? Nikaa kukompea wewe na babako. Hamwezi kuwa the same kwa familia. Tuko pamoja? So I hope you have understood where I'm coming from. So we have tuendelee na, I hope I did not lose you in that explanation, Gary Tush. John Kango, Melbo saying knock knock, who's there? John Kango Singh is saying, good evening Okabi, watching from Ruiru. Those new CRSPs are thorn fresh kwetu. Afadhali wangepunguza year limit at least to tupate value for money. Now, John Junior Cargo, the problem is we don't even have like CRSPs, a list of CRSPs imetolewa. Gari inaingia, ukiweka entry unatuma valuation. Ukiweka valuation unapewa the CRSP you're going to use. Sasa ule mtu ataleta gari ingine kama yako afterwards, atakuja apewe ambiwe hii gari iko na ruling. Ruling ni gani? Entry number blah 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 yenye cargo aliweka. So you get. So it's more of, I would say it's an unofficial way of officially implementing a new CRSP. Yeah, it looks like that from face value, but anyway, see ni life. Kev is saying, hi Wakabi, I was driving today, just normal town with Probox 2013 model. After stopping in traffic to clear, gari kaanza kushake hard, and the more I press the accelerator, the worse it gets. What's the issue? It could be so many issues. It could be the gearbox. It could be an electrical issue that cuts power. So those are the two major things. Either a gearbox issue or an electrical issue. But it's good upeleke gari garage ifanyiwe a proper diagnostics. Peter Nganga from Republic of Saudi Arabia saying, Mwalimu students 001 locked. By the way, will research story ya Chinese EV PHEV tax. Peter Nganga, on paper there are supposed to be, what do I call them? On paper there are supposed to be some benefits. But this story, unaona, the reason why it's so hard to research about motor vehicle taxing in Kenya is because of, you know, these things. Our model of taxing vehicles. Because unaona, kama gari iko kwa CRSP, what mostly happens, you will be sent for valuation. So not unless we use those models that have been brought in as a benchmark for you to bring other vehicles. Because if you are the first one to bring a particular model of a vehicle, it's not going to be very easy for you to bring it, especially if it's not on the CRSP. With these Chinese cars, you have a car that is so unique, it has the name of a radio. Labda unaweza pata gari inaitwa Walkman. Tayari tuko na Skyward yenye iko na jina ya TV. So upate gari ya Techno. So you see those things. Sometimes if your vehicle is too unique, you will have you will have to really battle it out with KRA. Tika Mode is saying, okay, Kenyan Mafia is saying, getting a car from scrapyard to with a history accident, especially the old timeless cars like the A110, is it worth putting it back on the road, or would it better just get a clean one? Now, Kenyan Mafia, that depends on whether the extent of the damage. You know, if the damage is too big, it's not worth it. If the damage is, you know, repairable, then you can do it. And if you're getting that car at a good deal. But there is some level of damage that you can see and just choose to buy a new car. Tika Mondo is saying, Auris 2008 800cc at 850. Is it worth it? Auris ziko na bei. Auris, the Toyota Auris are expensive cars. I have never understood why, but they are quite expensive in the Kenyan market. Mwangi Gedima is saying, Wakabi kwaje niko fiti kabisa. I want to go on road trips. Is a used 2014 Mazda Atenza diesel for 1.3 worth the buy if the user never did any DPF or AGR tune? Budget ya 200k in case any serious issues. Mwangi Kidhima kama haijawai fanyiwa na iko still on the road, don't touch it. I always say if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if it has not been removed, it has not had problems, and now you'll be driving the car for very long distances, kwanza endesha gari. Then from there we will cross that bridge when we get there, because 1.3 million is actually is a good deal on that vehicle. Evans Mugambi, Eric, would you recommend a 2015 Tiguan with a 2.0 TDI diesel and a DSG? I love those diesel Tiguans because they are very responsive. But before you get one, make sure you thoroughly inspect that engine. Ndio isikuwe imechokorwa. For the DSG, I think these days, if you have a good diagnostics machine, you can get to know its condition also by driving it. So don't buy it without performing a test drive as well. Gerutush is saying got it. Philip and Gumba is saying, hi Eric, if you are to install a radar detector na dashcam ile inaona usiku poa na iko na kuwa number plates for the perfect deal price, which shop would you go to? To be honest, I have never thought about. Kama ni dashcam pekee, I would go to my boy Osman Toll, anakuanga pale Nairobi West. His name is Loud Audio and Visual, so you can check him out on social media. Kwa mambo ya dashcam yeye atakwambia, he knows those things better than I do. Benjamin Karaoke is saying, hello Okabi, we need to explain how the Chinese vehicles are replacing our roads, and they are quite favorite. Benjamin Karaoke, Chinese vehicles are making their way to Kenyan roads and African roads at large. And they are not making their ways to the African roads because people love them. They are making their ways on African roads because they are cheap. They are cheap and they pack in so many features for a price that you would not get from a mainstream brand. For the trucks, their trucks by the way are good. They are value for money. But easy passenger cars, wacha tungoje kidogo tuone. But yes, they are cheap. They carry a lot of features. And the other thing, you can also not underestimate the Chinese when it comes to, once they get into a particular industry. However, for me, I would take it with a pinch of salt. Yes, and that is because remember, these cars are not tried and tested. We don't know how these cars will be 5-6 years down the line. So saying they are good or saying they are bad would be from a point of bias, because we need to, you see, some of these cars don't even have reviews for like 5 years ago because they are very new vehicles. Not unless you're talking about cars like Cherry Tigos, cars like, what do you call this pickup? Great Wall Wingles. Alafu tena, Chinese are funny because how many Great Walls came into Kenya with a bang. Sasa unaonanga Great Wall Wingo ngapi mpya? Haya, Grand Tigers ilipewa polisi. Grand Tigers were produced by a company that was called ZX Auto. How many of ZX Auto vehicles do you see on Kenyan roads today? The Chinese sometimes will build something, then they'll totally stop production. And that is why you find even most people with Chinese trucks will tell you that sometimes spare parts can be a problem. Because Chinese are not like the Japanese and the Europeans who will give support to, or who will have, OEMs building their parts, scanning them, 3D imaging. Sasa China, wakitoa model moja leo, the next model will be a totally different vehicle. So you find that they can't even share parts. There is no smooth transition in between their models. And that is the biggest problem with Chinese vehicles. Because, and let me tell you one thing. If today you are to get into an accident with a Chinese vehicle, trust me, rebuilding that vehicle is not going to be easy, especially when it comes to body panels. And if you want to prove this, you can go check out the salvage auctions. You will find that most Chinese vehicles that end up in accidents, they'll end up as written off vehicles because nobody rebuilding them. Now you can imagine unatafuta no skirt ya Great Wall Wingo, utapata wapi? Because even the Chinese themselves do not produce that. They'll probably be producing individual body parts. So in case you get into a serious accident, ukitaka airbag ya gari ya China utatoa wapi? So it's very hard to actually repair Chinese vehicles as accident vehicles, not unless they'll start. Ama you get into an accident with a vehicle like a Jetua. Where do you start sourcing its nose cut? Yes, you'll find maybe fenders. You'll have to import them from China because even the local dealers sometimes they don't get to have the support you will need to rebuild an accident vehicle. So that's the biggest challenge with these Chinese vehicles. They are cheap, they have so many features, but in case of a major accident, kitakuramba, most likely that car will end up written off. And you know what this happens? Now the insurance company starts taking them with a pinch of salt. Sawa. So tuendelee. Next in line, should I change the mic? Wacha nibadilishe microphone hii, nimesikia inaisha nari. Kujia watakuona tu. Si pia wewe Andy unafaa kuambia watu unawaheshimu lakini huwaogopi. Ama namna gani? Si namna hiyo? Tuendelee. Let's continue. We have the capital, Mr. Okabi, we need a new project bill bwana. Fanya mambo mzee. Hiyo unaona hiyo maneno ya project kwanza inakuja ingine au mambo ya project tunaleta hiyo machaji na manyonyo hiyo itakuwa mwecheche mstake jua so we'll do that. Asante sana. P Mwego is saying, hi boss, the South African trip ni movie kivyake. I really enjoyed, nikakuwa na fear kiasi when you are in that Makex, but Mungu ni naona you're safe, glory be to God. Yeah, it was a very intense experience, and we still feel that these guys had some interest with the car. It's only that we were very vigilant, and maombi ya watu wa familia inafanya kazi na pia maombi yenyu. So it's but the take home was, do not use Zimbabwe. And the funny thing, it's actually illegal to drive in Zimbabwe with a deregistered vehicle. Geretush is saying, given what you know and what you went through, would you recommend someone to buy a car from SA and drive it to Kenya? I just said it. It is illegal to drive a deregistered vehicle in Zimbabwe. In Botswana, there is a gray area, but they still insist that the registered vehicles inafaa zibebwe na car carrier. But if it's registered, drive the car. It's an awesome experience, only if you have a registered vehicle. And also, driving that car might end up being very expensive because you have to bond the car. Like ikiingia kwa country flani, it's bonded. Now, bonding means you have to put up a security deposit to ensure that that car does not get lost inside that country. So it might end up being very... So if you have a registered car, you can get a temporary import and export permit, or you get a carnet de passage, which is a vehicle's passport that will be stamped gari kivuka hizo borders, just as an assurance that the vehicle will come back. But with a deregistered vehicle, it's not as easy as it looks. Sawa. Fanny Robert is saying, I'm converting a 2002 Subaru Legacy BH5 twin turbo projector car. Andy, we are still live. I have some buffering on my side. Oh, okay. Nipatie. Inaitwa? Yang. Nipatie password. Give me the password. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay. Wadau, relaxini tu kidogo. back. I'm back. I am back. Niiteni mgongo because I am back. So there was a question here before my chat got disconnected. hmm Okay, so Joseph Nji here was saying, "Hello Eric with hello Eric with a CK with saying, oh, what is the actual fuel consumption of a GRX 120 to 50G not tuned? Kindly compare with a GRX 130 to 50G, considering that you have reviewed both a while back. It's these are cars that will give you probably the GRX 120 doesn't have very good fuel economy, but if you drive it well, it will give you around 10, 11, but on a bad day, it will give you below 10. Same as the GRX 130, only that the GRX 130 is, I would say, is more refined. So Karati is saying my Toyota Succeed cranks in the morning after a few seconds, then goes. My Toyota cranks, but si gari inafaa kucrank ikigurumishwa, ama anasema kukrankaje? Ama you mean that noise? You know, there's one common problem with 1NZs. I'm hoping it's what he's saying. Ukigurumisha asubuhi, you hear that a noise, krrr, then inanyamaza. That is normally a problem with the upper with the inakuanga. You see, it has a dual overhead camshaft design, so that noise comes from the chain and the camshafts. Ndipo hiyo kelele inatokanga na inakuanga kwa, you'll find it on Pro Boxes, Succeed, NZD na pia Sienta. Most the ones that had the first and second gen 1NZ, the one that had a mechanical accelerator ile ya cable. Tuendelee. Ahab is saying, hello Eric, compare Mazda CX-3 and Subaru XV in all common parts: performance, reliability, durability, fuel economy. Thank you. So if you're comparing a CX-3 with an XV, there are obvious things that will come into play here. Now the XV comes. Allow me to start with the XV. The XV comes with two engine options. You have a 1600cc and a 2-liter. If I was asked to pick between the two, I would pick the 2-liter. The XV comes with all-wheel drive as standard. So that's an advantage for people who appreciate all-wheel drive. It's not really an off-roader, but it's a soft roader. It has good clearance. The other thing is that with the XV, you get a Lineatronic CVT transmission. So that's another thing. Well, in terms of performance, it's a bit sluggish, and that is because of the CVT transmission. Most Subarus these days are not exciting to drive. When we move to the Mazda CX-3, most of the time it will come with either a 1500cc diesel, 1500cc petrol, even a 2-liter petrol. The most where the CX-3 reigns superior is it has a diesel option that has amazing fuel economy. Its petrol variants also have better fuel economy compared to the XV. They have a superior gearbox because they have a 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission. So it's exciting to drive and reliable as well because Mazdas have a very reliable gearbox. The other thing that maybe would be a deal breaker is now for some people, the CX-3 does not come with all-wheel drive as standard. So you have to look for an all-wheel drive. But the CX-3 is also available in manual transmission, but the XV is not available in manual transmission. So the disadvantage of the CX-3 is that it's basically a raised Demio. So na legroom ya nyuma is just pathetic. The XV is slightly more spacious compared to the CX-3. So hapo ndipo ukiangalia hizo vitu uwe utaona ni wapi which one will suit you best. So allow me kuna sound kweli? Hata hii iko low battery. 1 2 sound check. Do we have sound? So guys, sound is back. I'm hoping sound is back. Mm-hmm. 1 2 1 2 mic check. Mike Kememia, confirm if we have sound. Do we have sound? Do we have our sound equal sawa? So we are going to hurry up as let me reply to Emilio's question. Hi Eric, is it illegal to flatten the seats to create more space for luggage in a private car? It is not supposed to be illegal, but sometimes police officers will harass you and and tell you that you're contravening your insurance policy by making a private car a commercial vehicle. But on paper, it's not. That's why those seats fold. It's not supposed to be illegal. It's supposed to be okay. I think we need to have somebody to challenge some of these things in court because watu wanaumia. Your car is meant to be practical, but sometimes the police will just, you know, uh, they'll just harass you for no good reason. Sawa sawa. So James Courage is saying ISIS 2006 had bad coils, but I changed. Will the computer reset the morning idle, or do I need to do a computer reset? Why is the 1ZZ engine that came with it more expensive than the 2ZR successor? Now the 1ZZ is more expensive because it was a more, say, reliable engine. Accelerator yake ni ya cable, very mechanical, not many problems associated with it. In terms of changing coils, I don't think with an ISIS you need to reset a computer reset when you change the coils. It's not that sensitive. Evans Bugambi, is the 1600cc Impreza slower than a Vitz 1300cc? I have never compared them, but I've never compared them, to be honest. If I told you that, I would need to compare them first. Stephen Murray, hello Wakabi, kindly recommend me a small locally used fuel efficient car that I can use alongside the Subaru XV for a daily commute, running errands. Stephen Murray, I answered this. I told you you can do a Nissan Tida, you can do a Nissan Note E11, you can do a Honda Fit second generation, you can do a Mazda Demio second generation, you can do a Suzuki Swift. uh, Kevji is saying, how good is a two-wheel drive? How much is a 2WD Pro Box gearbox all shape in a cost? Hey, as I said earlier, Ikona Bay, say it's quite expensive. Yes. So you will be spending over 60,000 on that gearbox. Jackson Ayeko is saying, kindly advise on the 2020 Peugeot 508 on its reliability, long distance travels once a month. The 508 is actually a very good sedan. It looks at least a bit unique. Uh, yes, sometimes you have to go the extra mile to find parts, but generally they are good cars. They are good looking. Nim Nimse saying, hi, with 700k, what German car can I buy? Considering it will be my third car moving from Japan. 700k for a German. You can get the Golf Mark 5 or Mark 6. Golf Mark 5, Mark 6, those old Audi A3s. But the safest would be maybe a Golf Mark 6 or Mark 5. Jimmy Kim is saying, hi Eric, please advise, does the newer diesel engine Mazda Axela diesel need to warm up for a few minutes before driving? Does it apply the same old versions, diesel engines like the mid 2000s? So, Jimmy, this is a very important question. And I'm going to answer it in a very conservative way. You see, physics has its own rules. But you have to ask yourself, why were those engines warmed up before back then? Food or drivers would warm them up because the oil that was being used back then was quite heavy. These days the oil is very thin because you find those diesels are running on 5W30, 5W40. So it's oil that can get to the top parts of the engine very quickly. Secondly, is well, do you really need to warm them up? If you want to, yes, but it's not very necessary as long as you don't rev them very high. Technology has really changed. Vitu mingi sana on diesel engines. You remember there were times, there still are vehicles where you need to kugonga hand pump, na kuna gari zingine za diesel hata hazina, just unajaza tu mafuta na unaendelea. So things have changed, and in as much as it's prudent for you to let the car warm up, it's a good thing to let the car warm up, but not for so long. These days, technology, the oil viscosity has reduced. The oil pumps are more efficient. The engines are smaller. You know, so yes, you can warm it up. It will not do any harm, but also driving pia haita cause a lot of harm. Unanielewa? So, but generally, if you answer it in a conservative way, it does not harm. It will just waste your fuel warming up the car. Mhm. Funny Robert, nilikwambia hii gari, mi ningekuwa wewe, I would have just sold this twin turbo legacy and just bought a new one, because the project you are taking up. Oh, okay, okay. Na eh, hapa the cost that you're taking up will be quite expensive on the car. So he's saying any leads to an affordable place to buy the center console full and the rear reflector. Your wisdom. Hii Robert, ingia Kariobangi ama uingie Njiro, huko utapata hizi vitu. Steven Degwa, hey Eric, recommend a good mechanic for my BMW 120i. For the past week imekuwa ikitoa black smoke. I was told ni piston rings zimeisha, but nashuku I refueled at a petrol station that was black smoke piston rings. Hapana, black smoke si piston rings. That is an incorrect air to fuel ratio, because if it was piston rings kuisha, ingetoa inatoa blue smoke, not black. Black smoke, probably that's an incorrect air to fuel mixture. Hiyo gari inaweza leta Prince Drive number one, ama upeleke Inda kwa madam anaitwa Christine, Christine Ng'ang'a, au watakusotia BMW vizuri sana. Sawa sawa. So it's about time. Naona 5 minutes zinabaki ifike 9. So I'll just remind you a few things. Number one, we have a subsidiary of Konnekt in Eldoret called Neon Mobility. Neon Mobility will, in the next few weeks, be the newest Subaru dealer in the North Rift. So we are happy for Subaru authorized dealer, but we are open to all vehicles. So tunafurahi sana for your continued support. We have shot this episode at Prince Drive Garage hapa kwa Maura. So if you're in Nairobi, bring your car over to Prince Drive. Maura will sort you out. Pia kwa pre-purchase inspection, Maura amekuwa akitusaidia. The other thing is that tomorrow at 8 p.m. we are going to start our newest show, which is a podcast that is called the Lip Mode Podcast, where people come here to share their stories, their bad experiences na magari. Na sio magari pekee, pia car related businesses. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. stay tuned. Hata ukiingia hapo kwa channel utaona imesema premiere. Let's have a watch party tuone Lip Mode kesho, because there's a very interesting story of a guy who bought an Isuzu Bighorn. Na hiyo gari alibuy 800,000. He ended up selling the car for 120,000 after investing another 800,000 in that vehicle. So from a total cost of around 2 million, you get a 120,000. It's a very interesting show to watch, especially kwa watu wananunuanga magari bila kufanya due diligence. So these are real life stories. Now after that, we have another story of a gentleman who owned 3 matatus, but one day aliamka akaziuza zote because zile vitu zilimuonyesha. And these are all stories of people who got into businesses or bought cars without having to do some proper due diligence or without proper planning. So it's going to be a very, very interesting show to watch. Sawa sawa. Johnson Kyoko is saying, hi Eric, where did the Isuzu Beacon disappear to? I never owned an Isuzu Beacon. Sijaikuwa na Isuzu Beacon. The only car I've owned is is an Isuzu Trooper, and it's bad vehicle. It's still going strong. Only that I've not been shooting content with that vehicle. So Abuya hayo kabi between the 2019 S90 Volvo and the Audi A5 nichukue gani sijali reliability. The S90 looks really good. The S90 looks really good. The A5 is also quite a performer. The S90 is very unique. Inakaa fiti sana. Kama ni maneno ya face card chukua S90. Kama ni maneno, but pia the A5 has a A5 pia has a very good iko na face card pia, but not, does not look as good as the S90. So let's call it an evening. See you next time on Wednesday.